Welcome to the Wellness 6 series. This is going to be the tabletop bridge. We're going to be reviewing all levels in detail and some extra exercises for you to do to help improve your movement in this plane. The level 1 bridge involves lying on the ground with your feet hip-width apart, tucked in. You're going to first tuck your pelvis under you so your lower back is flat against the ground. Then you'll push down with your hands into the ground. Keeping the pelvis flat, you want to drive your hips up through the heels, attempting to create a flat plane at the top. At the very top, you want to hold for just under a second, making sure that the hips and glutes are tight and that the pelvis is level. If you can't get up to a level plane, that's all right. Keep working on this level until you can. The level 2 bridge is similar to the level 1, except instead of being on our shoulders, we're going to be on our palms, pinching our shoulder blades back, as you see me demonstrating here. And all I'm going to do at this level is pick my hips up off the ground by driving my shoulder blades down. So I'm not really pushing down through my heels to raise my hips. I'm pushing down through my shoulder blades to get into the right position for more advanced techniques. You can see here me pinching my shoulder blades back and then driving down through the palms to lift my hips. The level 3 bridge is similar to the level 2 in that my shoulder blades are still going to pinch back, except now I'm going to drive my hips up, squeezing my glutes at the top, rolling the shoulder blades back, pinching them together, and trying to maintain that neutral pelvic position we practiced all the way back in level 1. You can see here my palms are turned out and I continue to pinch my shoulder blades back. The level 4 bridge is very similar, except now my palms are pointed downward on the ground and my fingers are pointed forward toward my heels. This is going to create more of a stretch in the front of the arm and engage more of the shoulders, but it is more challenging on the wrists and arms in a mobility manner. So this is a good advanced technique to work through before level 5. The level 5 bridge is similar to all the others, except now we're going to be lifting our body up on one hand and rotating, looking back at the palm that's down on the ground. You can alternate sides as you are doing this technique, or you can do one side at a time and then switch to the other side. The key here is understanding that you're still trying to maintain very tight glutes and a neutral hip position while rotating from the thoracic spine down. The thoracic spine is the one that holds your rib cage together. You can see here that I'm still working very hard at pinching my shoulder blades back and maintaining good, stable engagement at the shoulder. Bridge shrugs are a process where we're almost similar to the level 2 bridge, where now I'm allowing my legs to be more extended and I'm focusing solely on driving down through the shoulders in order to strengthen the shoulder girdle to support the joint in these movements. If you find it hard to keep your shoulder blades pinched back, this is a great technique to work on. The second variation of the bridge shrug is a one-handed variation, where again my legs are more extended and I am still repeating the identical action of driving down through the shoulder blade as I raise my body, but very little of my body raising is coming from my heels. It's all about driving down through the palm into the ground and articulating the shoulder. You can see that from this angle in particular. The one-legged bridge is a variation of the level 1 bridge, but instead of using both heels to drive the hips up, I'm going to use one heel to drive the hips up. A modification on this technique can also be to cross your ankle over the knee of the pressing leg instead of holding the knee straight up like I am here. Both are correct. The only difference is this one forces my core to stabilize me in 3 dimensions, while the other one's a little bit easier. These are great variations to utilize. For example, before you go from the bridge level 1 to the bridge level 2, it is also a fantastic variation if you want to follow up with any bridging technique with one-legged bridges to increase the amount of volume that you're doing on that particular body part. The one-legged bridge advanced is simply doing a one-legged bridge the same way that we would be doing the more advanced bridges in levels 2 through 5, except I am only working on driving down through the heel. You can see here I'm still pushing back through my shoulder blades, making sure they rotate back. I'm driving down through my heel, really trying to make sure I get my hips into full extension. If you want to add a little extra to this technique, you can pick your toes up, and as the hips drive up, tap the toe on the ground. This will also help strengthen the tibialis, and you may feel a slightly different form of recruitment in the hamstring and glute as a result. The reverse plank is also an excellent technique for strengthening the posterior chain and working on the shoulder stability, moving from the level 1 bridge to the level 2 bridge. You'll notice that the legs are the obvious strength choice in this, but I am continuing to point out the importance of the shoulder work because it is rare that the shoulders actually get worked in this plane of motion, and it's really important for overall functionality that they do. If you find the content of this video helpful, please like and subscribe. I know you hear it all the time, but it is really helpful for growing the channel. And if you have any requests or questions, please put them in the comments section.